For over 400 years, one mystery has haunted American history: Roanoke. In 1587, 115 English settlers arrived on Roanoke Island in North Carolina. Men, women, and children, building a new life in the New World. 3 years later, when English ships returned with supplies, they found the settlement completely abandoned. No bodies, no braves, no signs of violence. Everyone was gone. The only clue? A single word carved into a wooden post: Croatoan. For over 4 centuries, historians have tried to solve this mystery. What happened to the lost colony of Roanoke? Some said they were killed by Native American tribes. Others believed they starved during a massive drought. But no one could prove what really happened, until now. In early 2026, scientists made a breakthrough. Using advanced DNA testing and cutting-edge technology, researchers discovered something incredible. The lost colony wasn't destroyed. They weren't massacred. They survived. And the proof? It's been hiding in the DNA of people living in North Carolina today. This is the unheard story of how modern science finally solved America's oldest mystery. This is the true fate of the lost colony of Roanoke. To understand what scientists discovered, we need to go back to 1587. A man named John White led 115 English settlers to America. Among them was his daughter, Eleanor, and his granddaughter, Virginia Dare, the first English baby born in America. But everything went wrong. They didn't have enough food, they didn't have enough supplies, and the local Native American tribes were hostile. Conflicts were breaking out. John White realized his people couldn't survive, so he sailed back to England to get help. He promised to return in a few months. Then he left them all behind. He had no idea what would happen next. But a war with Spain trapped White in England for 3 years. When he finally returned in August 1590, the island was eerily quiet. The houses were gone. The palisade was abandoned. White saw the carving. He knew Croatoan referred to an island 50 miles south, home to the friendly Manteo and his people. He wanted to go there immediately. But a massive storm, a lost anchor, and a near mutiny by his crew forced him to flee back to England. He never saw his family again. For centuries, this was where the story ended: a cold, empty island and a father's broken heart. Until now. For 400 years, this map sat in the British Museum. But it held a secret that required 21st century technology to reveal. In 2012, researchers noticed 2 patches on the map, places where White had literally glued a piece of paper over his drawings. Under that patch was a symbol for a fort. It wasn't on Roanoke Island. It was 50 miles inland at a location researchers now call Site X. When the First Colony Foundation began digging at Site X, they found what John White never could: borderware pottery, aglets, the 16th century equivalent of shoelace tips, snaphounds firing pans. These weren't trade goods, they were personal domestic items, items that only the Roanoke settlers could have owned in the late 1500s. The evidence was mounting. A splinter group of the colony had moved inland to the Roanoke territory. But where was the rest of the colony? Where was Eleanor? Where was Virginia Dare? This is where history meets biology. In early 2026, a massive genetic study led by the Lost Colony DNA Project published results that changed everything. For years, families in the Outer Banks and the Lumbee tribe of North Carolina have carried oral traditions saying they were descended from the English settlers. But oral history isn't proof in a textbook. Researchers used Y-DNA and mitochondrial testing to track the paternal and maternal lines of these families. What they found was a ghost signal, European genetic markers from the late 16th century that were deeply embedded in families who had lived alongside native tribes for generations. But the smoking gun came in February 2026. Archaeologists on Hatteras Island, ancient Croatoan, found a metalworking workshop. They found buckets of hammer scale. This is the waste material produced when an English blacksmith works metal. The local tribes didn't have this technology. This workshop wasn't a trade post, it was a home. The DNA and the archaeology finally agree. The colonists didn't disappear, they integrated. They became the Croatoan. They married, they survived, and they changed. They didn't die out. They just stopped being English. You have to ask yourself, if the colonists were just living 50 miles away, why didn't the later Jamestown settlers find them in 1607? The truth is darker than a simple disappearance. In 2026, new analysis of Spanish archives suggests that the Spanish, who also wanted North Carolina, may have intercepted some of the survivors. Furthermore, the lost colony myth was useful. If the colony vanished, it created a clean slate for the British Crown to claim the land was empty and ready for new, more obedient settlers. The survivors who integrated with the tribes were an inconvenience to the narrative of British superiority. The unheard truth is that Roanoke wasn't a tragedy of death, it was a tragedy of erasure.
Roanoke reminds us that history isn't always written by the winners. Sometimes it's written by the people who stay behind. The lost colony was never lost. They were right where they said they would be. We just weren't ready to listen. But if you think the secret of Roanoke is shocking, you won't believe what the same cosmic ray technology just found beneath the sands of Egypt. A hidden chamber under the Sphinx that hasn't been opened in 4,000 years. Click the video on your screen right now to see the 2026 discovery that's rewriting everything we know about the pharaohs. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Unheard Histories. The truth is out there. You just have to dig for it.